All right, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Hello, and how are you doing? It is Friday. Are you excited? I hope you are. A lot of people get excited for the weekend, right? Either you get out of school or work and get to spend a few days doing whatever you want. For other people, it's the opposite. The weekend is the time when you work the most. I know because I used to be there. I used to only work weekends when I worked a mall job a long ass time ago. And so it was like all week I'm in school, and then on the weekends I work. Wow, what a fun existence. So, how's everyone doing? Hopefully you're doing well. It is indeed Friday, April 8th, 2016. I am Darkside Phil, and welcome to my gameplay stream for the day. As you know, almost every single day I do a gameplay stream. Today will be, if everything goes according to plan, the conclusion of Quantum Break. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long the game is, because I haven't played it yet, or I haven't beaten it yet, excuse me. Since I didn't beat it, I can't tell you how long it is. But reports have been saying roughly around 10 hours. So kind of measuring the time I've already played it, I played it for around 2 to 2.5 hours my first stream, then about another 2 hours on my second stream on Tuesday, so I figured that was about 4 to 4.5. Then I played it for around 3 to 3.5 hours the last stream. I got about 7 to 8 hours into the game. So I'm assuming between the conclusion of Act 4, which we are in right now, the choice between, I'm sure, another critical story choice and the live-action cutscene that will play, and then the final act, probably going to be, roughly 3 to 3.5 hours of content here on the stream. If it's not, we'll see how close we are to the end. If we end really freaking early, then there's a chance I might do something else. Okay? But we'll see, how it goes. I certainly don't want to promise anyone anything, and then it ends up going long. There's a chance, if the end of the game is actually long, which I don't know, maybe we'll go past the stream and I'll have to play even more to finish it. I don't know. So we will see. We'll see what happens today. I'll warn everyone in advance, my throat and sinuses are still really screwed up. So this all started this past weekend on Sunday when I did WWE WrestleMania fantasy simulations in WWE 2K16, and I was screaming at the top of my voice for most of the day because the simulations were absolutely out of control zany. And I almost pretty much lost my voice on Monday and really had to struggle to even get it back enough to do my WrestleMania reactions video, which I did Monday night. So I thought that's what it was, but I can tell you this, over the course of the week, I can tell you my nose, my sinuses, everything's kind of swollen up a little bit, and I get the feeling it's because spring has sprung here in Washington. All of the plants are blooming, everything at once. The trees, the bushes, the flowers, everything. And it's probably pollen, negatively affecting me. This happens to me every year, because I don't have crazy bad allergies, but I do have minor allergies. And I think it's affecting me right now, hoping within a week or two here it'll go away, because I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. It pisses me off and annoys me. In addition to that, it has gotten pretty hot here this past week in Washington State. It's between the 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, especially when the sun is out and beating on the wall of my office, which makes it over 90 degrees. So I have to have my air conditioner on, and that could also be affecting me because I haven't had it on all year, so, my sinus is adjusting to that. So you could probably hear it. I can hear it in my own voice, the congestion, and I apologize for that. It is what it is. I'll do my best to keep it under wraps. You won't hear it all the time, but, just a forewarning to anyone joining the stream. You're like, Joe, Phil, does it sound good? What's going on? Well, that's what's going on. Okay? So, yeah, if everything goes according to plan, Quantum Break concluding on stream today, and then tonight I'll be reviewing the game. So I'll be, putting together a review, and that will be uploaded to KO Gaming, youtube.com/KO Gaming 1 is how you get to it. There hasn't been any content up there for a while, simply because there's been nothing going on. I haven't finished a game. I couldn't do first impressions on Quantum Break because the game's so short. What's the point of doing first impressions? Right? You know, it wouldn't have made any sense. First impressions on a game I've almost beaten, and now I'm going to review it and say the same shit. So, that's the deal. Review tonight if I do beat it on stream. If I don't beat it on stream, more than likely I'll probably be finishing it up tonight, you know, off stream. That'll be the rest of my day. And then I'll probably be reviewing it early next week. So it all depends on how far I get today. Dark Souls 3 will continue tomorrow. I know a lot of people are like, man, when is he playing it? When is he playing it? I love watching him play. I want to see more Dark Souls. No worries. It is going to pick up in a big way, in fact. It's going to increase in frequency starting tomorrow. As I said yesterday, simply because pretty much everything else is wrapping up. And the big release this coming week is Dark Souls 3 for most people who haven't had it yet. So I'm going to be playing it kind of alternating days. So I'll play it probably Saturday, then I'll probably play it Monday. You know, then maybe I'll play it Wednesday. And what I'll do, I'll alternate between other stuff. So in this case, you know, got games such as Persona 3. Coming up this week is the new Ratchet and Clank. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of craving a little bit of Street Fighter. I haven't played Street Fighter now in a couple weeks. Well, I take that back. I played Street Fighter last week for the Alex expansion. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do like a Street Fighter stream, maybe this weekend even. I'll do like a one day of Street Fighter while I'll mess around with Geef and Rashid and maybe a little bit more Alex online. So we'll see. But that's kind of how it's going to be this next week. It'll be a balance of different stuff with Dark Souls in between everything else. So that way Dark Souls continuously is going. Because I don't want the playthrough to go on forever. You know, I've been playing it for several weeks now, but I've only been playing it a couple times a week. I've been very reserved with my coverage of Dark Souls 3, being that I got to play the game early. And I do realize that this week coming up, it is officially released in North America. And I think later in the week it's released in Europe. I'm not positive on that. And people have already said, you know, we're holding off on watching your playthrough because we don't want to be spoiled, but we're going to check it out, you know, once we start playing. So we'll probably see a big spike in interest in the Dark Souls stuff this coming week as the game is officially released. That's cool. Thumbs up for that. Alright, what else? Well, for the rest of the month, FYI, besides the new Ratchet and Clank game releasing this next week, we've got a new Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies expansion. That comes out on the 19th. The 19th of April, actually. And I will be doing that. I'll be doing zombie co-op. Again, I'm trying to kind of get everyone back together. You know, Coruchado and the Airy Lord and P-Dog. We'll see if we can get everyone together for that, because I really do enjoy doing those zombie maps with them. And I'll also be playing the multiplayer maps, the new ones that are released. Later on that week is Star Fox Zero, which is awesome. Cannot wait to play the new Star Fox. And then the final week of the month, we've got the episode 2 of Hitman coming out. So, we've got some more new stuff coming up this month. Is it anything crazy, major? Not really. Quite honestly, Dark Souls 3 was the big thing for this month, and since it released early for, you know, a lot of people, it kind of let the cat out of the bag early. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I hope that you will check out all my stuff this month. I will be periodically doing things like Persona 3 and Street Fighter, just to stay in the loop. I'm debating playing more Pokken Tournament, but at this point, I don't know, because I played it a bit, and I kind of enjoyed it, and I played with 3 different characters, right? But at this point, I've kind of finished the narrative mode. It's pretty much over. It's just grind against these super high-level asshole enemies to unlock more stuff that I don't care about. And honestly, you know, do I really want to learn all the Pokemon or whatever? Probably not. You know, if I am going to continue to play a competitive fighting game, it's probably going to be more Street Fighter V rather than anything else, simply because that's the one that the series I grew up with. You know what I mean? Pokken Tournament's a great game. I just think it came out at a time when other stuff was going on, and so it didn't get as much attention as maybe I would have liked to give it. It certainly sold well. It sold like crazy, and tons of people are kind of playing it like super hardcore, which is cool. I think the game is competitive enough to be at a level where it should be in tournaments and stuff, but I'm not like super duper excited to play more of it. I'd rather actually go back to Street Fighter V, I think. So we'll see what happens with that. I haven't gotten rid of the game or anything, but I'm just being honest here. I did a lot of coverage of it for that launch week, and I don't know, you know, how much more I can get out of the game besides just trying out other Pokemon. You know what I mean? What else is going on? Well, the Battleborn Open Beta is apparently taking place this weekend, and I'm debating doing it. I might actually do it on Sunday. It might be what I do on Sunday, as long as I can get it working and everything. From what I understand, you could just download it and play it. Battleborn is a game coming out in early May, and I'm on the fence about getting it. You know, we all saw footage of it at E3 last year, but nothing that I saw at E3 like blew me away or made me say, I need to play this game. You know what I mean? It was more kind of like, it looks like this could be addictive fun, but is it anything that's like amazing and I have to play it? Not really. But I guess we'll see. You know, we'll have to see if I do try this beta, which could be the opportunity for me to try it and see how I like it. And if it ends up being something that I think is fun, maybe I will actually get the game in early May. Okay, so we'll see. I'm debating it right now. So, outside of everything else, what else is going on? Well, with Patreon, a lot of patrons have messaged me this week, sent me their personal info to get their forum accounts upgraded so they can start voting on the Blizzard Marathon. And I just want to let everyone know I will be actioning all of that data this weekend. Already earlier on the stream, I don't know if it's Reignoob or Reignoob. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. But he asked, he said, I didn't get anything upgraded yet, so I can't vote on the Blizzard poll. No, that's going to happen this weekend. I usually take a week, I tally everyone's data together, and then I send it to my webmaster, and he upgrades everyone manually. So, so that'll be this weekend, and right now, still resounding lead in the polls for the marathon at the end of this month is World of Warcraft. So if all goes well, it looks like we'll be playing World of Warcraft at the end of the month, which is pretty crazy, considering I've been away from the game for some 10 years. Pretty insane. I'm going to be going back and kind of seeing, what exactly is to offer in a game that's been out for some, Jesus, how long has that game been out? 15 years? Seriously, like, it's been out for so long. I don't think it's been 15, a little bit less than that, but at least 10 years, right? And the game's still going strong, even though I have heard that the user base is dwindling. I think people are finally starting to move on to other stuff, but a pretty crazy experience, I think, to jump back in after so long and see what they've done with the game, certainly. So if that wins the poll, that'll be pretty crazy. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. Like I said, right now, a lot of people have messaged me to get their forum accounts upgraded, and that's going to be action this weekend. So the poll could completely change once those people finally get upgraded. I don't know. Keep in mind that it's also Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm in the running for that marathon at the end of the month. We'll see what happens. Alright, so what else? Not too much. I'm kind of just getting through the week here, having fun playing games, and suffering a little bit with my allergies, but that's kind of the skinny of what's going on with me. Nothing too super eventful. I think I will be pretty hyped for when more people start joining me for Dark Souls 3. Simply because, even though I have had great stream attendance every time I played it, I know that there's just a big chunk of people who have not been following it at all, simply because they don't want to be spoiled. And once the game finally comes out, I think people will be excited to join me daily for the new stuff. Oh, wow. Rocky the Gamer just looked it up. World of Warcraft was released November 23rd, 2004. The game is 12 years old. 12 years old. I knew it. I knew the game was pretty old. And I played it at launch. And I played it like 2 years later, and then I played it like another 2 years later. So I played it like multiple times over the course of its life. I played the shit out of it at launch. I played it for like 2 straight months. It was all I was playing. It was pretty crazy. I was addicted to it just like everyone else. And then I realized the class I had picked was garbage. I had picked like a Tauren Warrior or something. Because back then no one knew it was good. You know, the game was new. I ended up picking a Tauren Warrior. Ends up being like one of the worst fucking classes. Like, god damn it. Of course, I picked the worst one, right? So, we'll see what happens at the end of this month if World of Warcraft wins. And if it does, that'll be a very interesting experience. All right, everyone. So we're going to get started here with the conclusion of Quantum Break. I'd like to thank you for being on stream. I'm going to start momentarily. First, let's get through some gratuitous plugs. And by the way, I would like to point this out. A lot of people... Oh, let me take that back. I'm not even going to say a lot of people. A few people seem to have an issue with the fact that at the beginning of every stream, I advertise. I advertise things that keep the business running. It lasts like a total of 10 minutes, right? I start right now and it ends, and then I start. Now, you do realize there are very few businesses on the planet Earth that can operate with 10 minutes of advertisement a day. You know what I mean? Like, go to any restaurant, there's advertisements all over the restaurant. Go online, there's ads everywhere. Go to any other person who streams full-time, and you'll probably find that at least a few times during their stream, they're advertising, whether they want subs or donations or buy their merch or whatever it is. I don't do that. My stuff, my method of business is very different from the norm. I keep my advertising down and isolated to 10 minutes a day, and that is it. You don't get interruptions during the gameplay. You don't get segments. Even most YouTubers these days have highly edited videos at the end of every video. Oh, here's this Patreon, here's my merch, here's this, buy this, here's this, at the end of every video. You know, it's kind of a necessary evil, and by the way, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying I don't do that. I'm very different. So please understand that, yeah, every day I may be advertising, but it's necessary. It's necessary for a business to work that people listen to the advertisements and participate in the activities around the advertisements, or else I wouldn't be able to do this anymore. I'd be going away. And from what I've understood, I have thousands of people who like what I do, who want to see me continue, and you know, are appreciative of the fact that I am here after 8 years still doing this daily, giving you free content every single day. And you know, I'm appreciative of your viewership as much as you're appreciative of me putting out the stuff. So it goes hand in hand. I understand it might be annoying if you're here on stream every day and you hear 10 minutes of advertisement and you're like, why can't you just get to the gameplay? But understand it's a necessary evil in order for the actual gameplay to exist. Okay? So, let's get to it and then we can get to gameplay. Alright? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy my on-demand videos, if you like my daily streaming, if you like my vlogging, my edited content such as the review of Quantum Break that'll be coming out tonight, if you like all of that stuff and you want to see it continue, there are many ways that you can support my business. The very first is very simple. Watching the videos and spreading the word. Let people know that I'm here doing live streaming every day. I have on-demand videos on DSPGaming, vlogging on the King of Hate Vlogs, etc. Spreading the word and watching the stuff is first and foremost, of course. Number 2. Social media, ladies and gentlemen. Social media is key to a business's, especially an internet-based businesses, success in this day and age. My main source of social media interaction is Twitter, @ they call me DSP, or twitter.com/they call me DSP. Daily, I'm posting up an amended schedule so you know what's going to happen the next day. I also post up tweets about what's going on with me in my life and stuff like that. I have an Instagram account, also called They Call Me DSP, that's tied to that Twitter, where I post up pictures and stuff when I go out and or find something interesting in my life. And the more that you follow me on social media, the more that you tweet, retweet, like my stuff on social media, it helps the business. Because the bottom line is, the more reach that I have via social media, the more people know about stuff that's going on with me, okay? Also, in the description of all of my videos and streams is a link to an Amazon Associates account. If you already shop on Amazon, this is a no-brainer. If you live in the United States, by the way, I want to make that clear. The link only works if you do live in the United States. If you're going to shop on Amazon, please click on that link and then shop as normal. It helps me out. Gives me some referral credit, okay? Number 3, Patreon. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. This is the main method when people say, gee, can I donate? I say, no, you can't donate, but you can pledge to Patreon. And that way you can get perks, actual rewards for your pledges. And in addition, it contributes to a monthly goal. I know what the monthly goal for April is going to be. I think it's going to be a good one that people will want to see. Okay? And I will be posting that up probably this weekend, and then talking about it all next week. So, yes, Patreon. Sorry, I got distracted a little bit. I read the stream chat and got distracted. Patreon, very important part of my business this year. Because your pledges are helping me pay my bills. It's not like, last year it was a little bit more like, well, I'm trying to raise funds to improve the business, like to improve my microphone setup and stuff like that. This year it's very critical because it's necessary income for me to make a living. So please consider, if you have not pledged already, please consider pledging to my Patreon for this month. I think you're going to like the goal that's coming up. I'll talk more about that next week. But as little as $1 helps. For all the people out there who say, I don't have a lot of money and therefore, I'm not going to make any kind of a contribution if I do pledge because I can't give a lot. That's not the case at all. $1 actually helps. The most successful people who use Patreon, it's the dollar pledges that add up, that make up a big chunk of what they do and what they raise, okay? So, please, consider pledging to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. And of course, last but not least, my girlfriend Leanna's business called The Black Current. She sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. Just launched her spring line of product. You can check that out at etsy.com/shop/The Black Current. That's spelled Currant. And that's it. That's our gratuitous plug segment. See, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's hilarious when I read, like, someone complaining, I can't believe you advertise every day. Why doesn't he just play games? Like, wow, that is such like a closed-minded, ignorant, honestly, pure ignorant mentality. It's a necessary evil that I advertise or else I can't do this. I won't be here anymore, And I want to say thank you to those of you who do listen to the advertisement and you actually participate in those activities. You are directly responsible for me able to do this. And that's awesome. All right. So, let me go ahead here and get my final preparations, and then we'll begin the conclusion of Quantum Break. I'm excited for it. I hope you're excited too. Thanks again for being here, and I think we're going to start, all right? Thank you, everyone, and let's begin.